When the athlete puts the bar higher in his mind that it is in reality, he will fail in his mind, but he will win the game. Buongiorno, today we will talk about reaching the horizon. Once standing in front of Leonardo da Vinci painting, I overheard someone asking, what was his point? What was his vision? The answer really surprised me and impressed me. Life itself was his belief, and his vision, he was the man who wanted to know everything. I think this is really impressive. Leonardo's strong visions are so self-evident in his work that we take it for granted, forget how much it powered his mindset. For Leonardo, a strong vision was necessary. A man always on the border of the possible could really not exist without a strong belief. Leonardo's always tested and was going beyond what was considered to be secure to believe in. Every piece of his work is like a puzzle part, offering insights in his process and showing a glimpse of his vision. Like life itself, his beliefs and his visions were always in process. His vision was like the horizon, always in sight, but something that in reality never can be reached. Out of this venture forward, he generated a strong motivation. The hunt for the marvelous needed clear priorities that kept him on his path. There's a story he once told. Having wandered for some distance among overhanging rocks, I came to the entrance of a great cavern, and after some hesitation I entered, drawn by a desire to see whatever there might be any marvelous things within. This is a great story that is showing his kind of vision, his venture forward. With persistence, commitment, and a belief in his potential and abilities, his quest was to reach what no one could ever reach. He was never encouraged by accidents. Instead, he used them for improvement of his gifts and talents. He was a man using everything life and his mind was throwing at him. It was almost unbelievable how his self-reflections didn't confuse him, instead fuel his curiosity and questioning mind. It is almost like being conflicted, or to include the paradox, allowed him to use all his potentials for his artistic venture. He said once, and this is really paradox for an artist to say, art lives from constraints and dies from freedom. His strong mindset that believes in the process instead of a concluded outcome made him really flexible. It is paradox, but to have a vision that never can be achieved, that is even bigger than he could ever be, made him bigger than a man could ever become. It is perhaps like with this high jump sports. When the athlete puts the bar higher in his mind that it is in reality, he will fail in his mind, but he will win the game. From our perspective, he achieved his vision. Even in his own mind, he never reached it. It is not surprising that in his final days he was filled with regret and apologized to God and man for leaving so much undone. Furthermore, in his last days he wrote, I should continue and never tire of being useful. Really, what a vision to steady go on and to achieve even more.